What's up, everybody? Philly Soccer Page post-game show from Talon Energy Park. Philadelphia Union defeat Orlando City 2-1. Tranquillo Barnetta, fabulous free kick in the 90th minute to win it. Reaction.
It was great. It was shot out of the blue. Compare it to the Cleberson goal a couple
All
years
right.
ago against Toronto, kind of the same situation, similar position on the field. Barnetta is a talent. Barnetta is a guy with a lot of quality, and you saw that tonight. You saw how he kind of changed the game when he came off the bench.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Ilsinho misses out with a late injury, hamstring injury. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a big thing. Carvalho is suspended, so two changes in the midfield. You have Sebastian Letou that comes in on the right, and Vincent Nogueira slots in the 8. So what did you think of the midfield in the first half?
Midfield in the first half I thought played pretty well. With Pontius kind of working with Vincent. It was good to see Vincent out there again, healthy, doing his thing. Being kind of that outlet valve. The point on the triangle. Always kind of near the ball in the play like that. Letou, I thought, had pretty quiet game. He was involved in a couple plays. His touch was a bit heavy, I think, on a few plays. And I just don't think he ever really got into the flow of it.
You mentioned, the goal obviously is fantastic from Barnett, but I really think that he was in a spark when he came off the bench. He comes on in I think it was the 63rd minute with Fabian Herbers. It changes the formation a little bit. It pushes CJ Sapong out wide, and Barnetta slides into that number 10 role. But I really he's spraying the ball around. He's finding people's feet. He seemed to really take control of the game for the Union again.
Oh, he looked healthy. He looked up for it. He has really good vision. He's looking to get other guys involved. And he was looking to take the ball on his own and get into the box a few times. I think he created a foul, or in the corner on a couple plays. And again, you talk about that free kick, and nobody on that team right now, I think, could do what he just did. And it was just he had a great game. He had a great game when he came in and really created a lot for the Union.
Orlando's obviously a little bit banged up, missing I think three starters. So they play a little bit of a different formation. Kaká's kind of in a false 9, maybe not exactly what the Union training for all this week. How did you think that the back line dealt with Kaká and Winters, who I thought was really spectacular?
I think they did as well as you could. I think Kaká, as a veteran guy, kind of waited for the game to kind of warm up before he got involved. And once he got into the game, he was everywhere. And he was really kind of creating havoc for the back line. But for the most part, they stood their ground. I mean, Winter's goal was very nice. And he's another guy with a lot of quality. Excuse me. With a lot of quality. He played, a very, very good game for Orlando. And just like I said, Kaká was everywhere. He was involved in just about every move. Probably after about maybe the 15th minute, I think he was in the game. He was really involved with just about every move that Orlando had. And a few times you could say the defense was chasing shadows. Definitely on the goal they were. Kaká and Winters just found all kinds of space and really exploited
that was a fantastic touch by Winters around Rosenberry. I've watched the replay a couple times. I'm still not sure if he means to play it exactly to himself the way he does, but it's really fantastic.
And Rosenberry's still a rookie. We forget that a little bit because he's played so strong, and he's going up against a guy that's an international and really talented. And when you're a rookie, you're going to have learning experiences, and that certainly was one.
Yeah, Jim Curtin hit on that in his press conference. Brian Carroll, I thought, had a pretty solid match. Shielding that back four, doing the dirty work, not showing up too much. But I think that's the type of game you want for Brian Carroll.
That's a Brian Carroll game. He sits in front of the back four. He'll screen. He'll cover some passing lanes, and the less he's on the ball, I think it's better. The more he's on the ball, the more responsibility he has with the ball. I think at this point in his career is a lot to ask of him. I think you saw that in the Columbus game where he had some long passes that didn't really connect with anyone. So I think they found a way to kind of spread that responsibility around, and it allows him to be Brian Carroll and just kind of play that nice, real efficient game that he plays.
I think we'd be remiss to not mention Andre Blake again. Probably, he definitely didn't have as much work as he's had in a couple of the other games this season. But when he was called upon, a couple of spectacular saves, including one at the very end that saves the 3 points for the Union.
Absolutely, a game saver, every much as important as Barnetta's free kick. And your two best players make great plays at the end of a game, and when that happens, you get 3 points, and that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, I mean, for all the jokes that we've had about Union goalkeepers for such a long time, it seems like we're finally settled here in
It feels like a
Philadelphia.
lifetime ago now,
Yeah, it
doesn't
does,
it?
doesn't
With
it?
Blake, and he just looks the part. He commands the box so well. He has every tool you need to be a goalkeeper. I think Jim Curtin mentioned a little bit his distribution's not quite there yet with some of his kicks, and you can see it. It's improving, but it's definitely not the best part of his game. But if that's the biggest thing you have to worry about with your goalkeeper, that's not a huge problem because everything else kind of checks the box. Strong hands, reads the play, very athletic, gets back on his feet quickly. All those things he has. Distribution, you can work on that. You can make that happen later.
Obviously, still an entire round to play this weekend. This is the first game of the weekend, but Union on top of the Eastern Conference with 9 points. How's that
Just
feel?
like I predicted, obviously.
Right.
No, absolutely.
Everyone.
Absolutely not. I didn't predict this kind of start for the Union, especially after that Dallas game. It's really enjoyable. They're doing it, and they're doing it in a very attractive way. If you look back to 2011, the playoff year, they did it with defense. They were a grinding team. They would get one. There were 1-0 team get it and just grind it. They had good veteran goalkeeping and strong defense, and that's how they won it. Now, now they're doing it with creativity. They're doing it with the ball at their feet. They're doing it with offense, and they still have a strong defense and all that, and a great goalkeeper, but they're doing it in such an attractive way right now. It's really, really great to watch.
So it's fun. I think we'll wrap up there. Union away again next week. We'll be back here in 2 weeks' time. I'm Mike. That's Greg. Thanks for watching.